What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Edwards, and welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. If you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, Omni Studio, whatever you're listening to, leave a review. If you always listen to the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe, like the podcast, it helps a lot. Uh, this is week 27 in the Premier League, and we're going to be talking about some very important games. The most important game we're going to be talking about is Bournemouth versus Burnley. That was a very important game, huge game. It's probably the priority game to be talking about. Tottenham beat Crystal Palace, so that's huge. We'll talk about that. Newcastle beat Wolves. Chelsea salvaged the tie at Brentford. Everton, West Ham, and I think that's it. Basically, that's what we'll talk about on this episode of the podcast, and whatever else we got a guest, and we got a normal, usual suspect co-hosting with me. So let me just say what's up to Lee Hudson, stand-up comic, straight out of England, Southampton fan. What's up, Lee? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, busy weekend of shows again. Had today off though, so just watched the football today.
Uh-huh.
Um, I've got the Porto shirt up in the background because they beat Benfica 5-0 today.
All right, all
Um,
right.
so I thought I'd put one of theirs up. So yeah, I'm doing good.
You're doing good. And if you notice, there's an extra person. Uh, and I don't know if you can tell. If you're watching, you might, or even if you're listening, you definitely can't tell what team he roots for. If you're watching, it's going to be hard to not be able to tell what team he roots for. And what up, Alex Avila? He's
What's
a
going on,
stand-up
Ian?
comic from Palm Springs. I did just the show there last weekend. I think it was the second time I met him. So he's a Man City fan. I don't know why
Correct.
he's here today. There was no, I don't think Man City played or anything like that. But he
Correct.
just wanted to come on the
I just
podcast and
wanted
kick
to
it.
come and join. I was like, I think like today is a good day to talk about United with Ian. Lee, nice to meet you, man. I love the Porto jersey. Porto, my favorite Portuguese team because had a bunch of Mexicans back in the day.
Yeah,
And
they had a few good ones there.
Yeah.
and let me just ask Alex, how did you become a Man City fan? By the way, just out of curiosity, what's your credentials?
All right, credentials. I started. I always okay. First of all, I always hated United. Like I'll be honest. I don't know why. Always dislike United. I think it was just like the fact that they were always winning. Always win. Growing up, I didn't really like that level of dominance. And
that
Arsenal
that
wasn't really.
means that means you should hate Man City by
Uh,
that.
by that logic, you're probably correct. I probably should be supporting like a different team, but yeah. So never really liked United. Chelsea wasn't really like. I kind of like Chelsea a little bit. What kind of sold City for me? There was this player. His name is Neri Castillo, Mexican player. He went to play
Hmm.
at City, and Sven-Goran Eriksson basically left. I think England to go coach Manchester City, and then he became Mexico's national coach. So I kind of like became like a little bit interested of Manchester City, a little bit of interest just watching once in a while the Negatives and obviously Abu Dhabi money, and I was like, I love that.
And did you always have that Man City Etihad Zoom backdrop, or did you Photoshop it in there for today?
I for today. Normally it's like a different. It looks a little bit different.
That's what I thought. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk like about the most important game of the weekend. Like I mentioned, Burnley versus Bournemouth. Big game, right, guys? Big, huge game. All right, let me stop playing around. The biggest game of the weekend, of course, was Chelsea versus Brentford. Uh, so I don't know if anybody watched this game. All right, let me stop playing. So Manchester United played the asterisk champions, Man City, and let me just say this: like in the history of Man City, all our championships and titles and trophies are legit. Man City's whether we don't know what's going to happen 115 charges from now. But whether they beat them or not, those trophies should all be having embroidered besides Man City's name an asterisk on those trophies next to the name. But besides that, they have some fantastic players, and you could just list them off: Foden, De Bruyne, Haaland, Rodri, uh, 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 what's his name? Bernardo Silva is one of my favorite players. Just period. I just think he's unsung. And I'm just mentioning the firepower. That's all firepower. I didn't mention Grealish. I didn't mention Doku. And then you have the young kids coming through. So you have that team today facing this team, and that team is Rashford, who's off his game. McTominay would not even probably make the bench of Man City. Bruno Fernandes is if you do a lot of teams did like let's do the matchup, like what teams from what team could make the other team, and Bruno's probably the only player from Man United that could get into an 11 from both teams.
Like the best 11?
Yeah, best 11 from both teams. So, like, they say you can't lose a game on paper, but yes, you can. Man United is like definitely like not in a good, not even a good vein of form. I don't even know how we're six, to be honest. I feel like that's actually not exactly progress, but a miracle. Like, how are we six? This is what we started today. Victor Lindelof, a center back, second choice center back, playing left back. Johnny Evans, 35, 39 years old, center back, played like a lighthouse in an ocean, just balled his ass off, then got hurt and had to come out the game. And that's when Man City really got the advantage. Varane, World Cup winner, still a decent player, but not the youngest. Dalot balled his ass off. He really, he played so good, they had to take Doku off the pitch. It's like, all right, Doku, this is not you today. You can't get past this guy. Casemiro, he's highly decorated, but on the older side of things, you know what I'm saying? And then they have Garnacho, 18-year-old, 19-year-old. McTominay, like I just said, shouldn't be on the bench. Rashford, who's definitely off form, and Bruno Fernandes, like the only legit player out there. And I just want to give Bruno some props. Today, they're saying Bruno played shit, but Bruno had 3 assists to Marcus Rashford. Rashford only put 1 away, and it was the hardest one that he put away. There's Rashford could have had at least 2 more goals, maybe 3 out of 4 legitimate chances, or at least he should have made sure Walker fouled him and got a red for being the last man and got him off the pitch in the second half. So Rashford walked it like he talked it this week when he did that interview for the first 7 minutes of the match when he scored that banger. And that is a world-class bona fide banger. And I feel like Man United were never going to win this game, and it was mean of Rashford and United to come up with this type of a goal because it really shut down Etihad and gave United hope. And how did you feel, Alex, when that goal went in? Because I know you came to this game fully confident.
Yeah, I think like I was shocked just because I think like first 6 minutes, like I think like City does something really well. Like first 3-4 minutes of City, it's just like completely like kind of like teams just are like, what is going on? People are just winning the balls. I think City got like 3 corners like in 2 minutes. They were just on it. And when that goal happened, like you said, like the Etihad was just like silent for like 2 minutes. There was like a video of Pep asking the crowd to like, hey guys, like wake up, like help us out, what is going on, because that was shocking. That was an amazing goal. Like I think it might be probably like I think it's gonna be the goal of the month. It's contention with goal of the month probably.
How did you feel emotionally when you saw that come off the top bar hit the net. Your goalkeeper's
Emotionally,
laying on the floor,
just because,
his
like you said,
eyes
right, we're
bulging.
City. Just like because you said City was Liverpool of confidence, I was like, oh, cool, the goal. City's gonna score on them like in the next 10 minutes. But as time
All right.
continue, and that Haaland miss, I think like what for me, like what really we're talking about emotions, Haaland missing that, like the header, Foden puts the ball in the to Haaland to score it, and he misses like the easiest probably goal of his career. I was like, okay, this is gonna be one of those days. Like, nothing's gonna happen. Probably gonna lose the league tonight because it's not gonna happen. Like, it's like they're defending well. Of Nana is like playing better than he normally plays, and everyone's not making mistakes. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how we're gonna score tonight.
All right. So what you're saying is, after Rashford scored, you're like, we're City. We're going to score 10 minutes later. But then right before the half, when Haaland missed that sitter, that's when the alarm bells went off. And you're like, oh, this is going to be one of those games where you create all these chances and you miss them and it gets stolen. The game gets stolen and you lose the 3 points and the league because Liverpool and Arsenal are doing their thing.
It
All right.
reminded me of remember that Anfield game, United Anfield, when they won. I think they tied or they won, or they basically. Oh, it was a draw, but it was like Liverpool had so many chances and it didn't happen just because
Right.
United just defended amazingly and just everything went against Liverpool. You know, I was like, that's gonna happen to City today.
Right. And that's what I was hoping would happen, but it fucking didn't happen. Uh, Lee, let me ask you a question. Let me just introduce Martin Harris, stand-up comic and actor. He's been in a ton of things like Stranger Things. He was just in what is that show called?
Sheldon.
Young Sheldon, which is a spin-off from what show again?
Big Bang
Theory.
Theory.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Martin?
Hey,
Glad
hey
you
guys.
could join
Hey,
us.
good to see you face.
And Martin's a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
Lee, let me ask you a question. What goal do you think was better? Garnacho's bicycle kick versus Everton, or this goal that Marcus Rashford scored versus Man City?
I think you were going to ask me which one was better, Rashford or Foden today, but no, I'd say Garnacho's is still better, just because of the difficulty of the execution. Whereas like someone setting a ball back to you when you haven't got any opponents near you around the box, like it's still an amazing finish to put it in off the underside of the bar past, a world-class goalkeeper. But I feel like there was a bit more of an execution required for Garnacho's, and to then, get it past the keeper from, with that technique. I mean, both stunning to watch though.
What about between Foden versus Rashford today? Which goal do you think was better?
Easy, Rashford. I think Foden, he got to have a lot of touches. Lindelof showed him inside too easy. As soon as Lindelof showed him inside, someone should have stepped out, because it's like he's on his left foot, he's going to shoot. And no one really got close enough to him. He still had to put it where he put it. So I'm not saying it's a bad goal, but I just feel like Rashford's off the first time hit off the underside of the bar as well was a little bit sweeter. But Foden's was still an amazing finish.
All right. And before I go to Martin, who just got here, I was talking about the game. You guys beat us on paper, so I wasn't surprised when you beat us in the game. We have so many injuries. And what do you think of Man City's overall performance? Like, what do you want to say about your team that plays in that background behind you?
I think like overall it's one of those results that obviously like I wanted to see like you said, right, based on the lineup that we saw. Like, okay, there's no Martinez, no Maguire. They're not the strikers. They don't have like a real striker because Rashford's not in form. Yeah, I was just like, okay, like probably City. Also, like a lot of the experts were basically saying it was gonna be like a 6-1 or 7-something, and I was like, okay, guys, you guys gotta like chill. I don't know. It's his football, anything can happen. So I was expecting like a comfortable game, and it did not happen. So at the end of the day, I think like what it was nice though is like City able to come back and win it, because I think like it was the first time ever that United lost a game after winning the first half. Which somebody mentioned that it was the first time that United lost a game after going into the half winning. So that tells you basically like kind of like
people need to stop mentioning United's good stats, because every time, like the Fulham game, United hasn't lost to Fulham at home in whatever the number is. What happens at the end of the game? Fulham wins again. Just don't. I don't want no more stats. I don't want no positive stats. Don't say shit if the stat is in our favor and we're playing the team that stat is in our favor against, because it's a jinx. Don't say shit. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I think like to in conclusion, I think like we're walking away with like it was nice to see City being able to come back, but I wish that wouldn't happen. I wish it would have just been like a comfortable game, because emotionally, as you said, I wasn't ready for that. I was like I just wanna go see. It's gonna be an emotionally month. We have Liverpool next week, then we have Arsenal, then we have a Newcastle for the FA Cup. So I wanted to have like a rest, like like a better chill week, because based on the injuries and based on United's form, I was like, okay, I think like this is gonna be just one of those comfortable City wins, and it wasn't. So that tells you.
You're a City fan, man. You're fucking with the big boys. This is what you signed up for. It's big game after big game. The only like kind of lightweight game you have coming up is like Copenhagen.
Correct.
And I wouldn't even sleep on them. They're a desperate, wounded animal. Martin, did you see the Man United City game? Let me hear your very slanted take on how United performed.
I saw the extended highlights of the game, and
so you can't even talk.
I can. I've seen everything that mattered in the game, which is the onslaught from the City. Well, let me tell you this. First of all, it's a beautiful day. The sky is blue. Wait a second. Not the sky. The Manchester is blue.
It was blue before the game, Martin. It's been blue for a few years now.
Well, listen. Like the City were clearly better. So I agree with the City fan that came on the podcast. It was just a matter of time. Although
he's still on.
I'll tell you this: Haaland is in shocking form lately. Shocking form. I mean, he's missing so many chances. This is unbelievable. What's going on with
he scored 5 the other night.
Yeah, but whenever there's a big, like a Premier League game, he's missing a lot of chances. What was the game, Ian, we were watching where City played, where Haaland missed so many chances?
Probably Chelsea, maybe?
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, he's missing so many chances. I mean, it's incredible. It's like last season, he was scoring pretty much every single chance. Right now, he's really missing a lot of chances. You can argue that Alvarez was playing better in the last 2 months than Haaland.
He's in terrible form, man. 80 goals in 84 games.
Yeah, I agree with Pep. I saw what Pep said after the game. He said that Phil Foden is the best player in the Premier League right now, and I agree with him. He is the best player in the Premier League, and he's proving it. I made a mistake again, captaining Haaland in the Fantasy League, not Foden. I did it the second time in a row, and I regretted it. Foden is absolutely in incredible form and he's keeping pretty much the City's chances alive. Although City still not the favorite to win the title, in my opinion. Still, I think Liverpool are the favorites to win it, especially because it's the final season of Klopp. But this was a massive win. It could have slipped from City, but if it did, it would be Haaland's fault because, listen, I mean, the City was so much better in this game, and it's.
Martin, you didn't see the game.
United fans today, both of them are in the business. One is a stunt guy, the other is an actor. That I talked to yesterday before the game and today after the game. He was on Game of Thrones and a bunch of. He's from Manchester, and they're both really. They start to think, are we going in the right direction as a football club? Is this the new norm where we are the second best team in Manchester and like 5th, 6th best team in England?
Where have they been the last 10 years? What do they mean, new norm?
Yeah, I mean, but
we have been the second best team in Manchester.
Yeah, but you don't want to accept that reality. You want to fight that reality, right?
You want to fight it, but it just is what it is right now. And asterisk City is the team in Man United right now, but all their titles are tainted, so it's fine.
And I often agree with Lee. I disagree on that one. I think Rashford's goal was beautiful, but it was a little bit of a fluke, where Foden's goal was methodical goal, where he exactly did what he wanted to do.
Nobody asked you.
Foden goes better.
Nobody asked you that. Let me just ask Alex a question. What do you feel as a City fan? I haven't really talked to a lot of City fans just about the charges. And I'm joking about the charges. You guys really outplayed us today. You guys really outplayed us today. I'm not supposed to like your players, but I watch a lot of City games because I just love really good football, and you guys play it. And I just bring up the Chargers. It's the only way to defend myself, against a City fan in the podcast. So it's fine. It's all fun and love. But like, I guess, City fan, when you heard about the Chargers and you had the time for it to sit with you for a minute, like, what do you fear? What do you think about Chargers, and what do you fear about the Chargers?
My fear, I don't think there's fears, right? Because I think like Premier League, United, Chelsea, all the big teams, they need they kind of like need like this global team, like the people are watching, they're spending money to watch, and like for the Premier League, like for the TV rights and everything, it's better for them to having seat in the league. So they might if they charge them, probably give them, I don't know, like a big financial fee, or maybe take some points or something. Taking away the titles, I don't see it happening. I don't see that happening. And how do I feel about like financial fair play? Obviously, it's pretty. I have like I might be biased because my team's benefited from basically investing, but now I don't know. I just feel like Aston Villa is like on risk of losing a bunch of players because they have to accommodate to the rules. And in my opinion, it's like Aston Villa is doing fantastic this season, and that's kind of like, we're like, hey guys, you guys are doing very well. But guess what? You guys gotta solve your players because you guys gotta accommodate to the leagues. I'm not in favor of financial fair play for that reason. I just feel like if you have the resources to buy players, you should be able to. But obviously there should be like some kind of like maybe like a cap or something. I don't know.
And that's what financial fair play is. Like, they're basing the cap on how much you can generate. Like, if you generate, you don't spend more than you generate, and they also give you like some leeway, which is cool. But then I guess the charges against Man City is that they manufactured how much money they generated. So you're not really afraid of it?
No, I'm not really afraid of it. Also, I'll tell you, like, I mean, for example, United just hired ex City's chief something of what's Omar Barada. He was basically running City Group for like 8 years.
Hired, or he jumped off a sinking ship? It could be both.
Well, regardless, if City was to be like punishable, whatever, he's also takes some of the blame. I mean, he goes basically like he'll take some punishment. So I don't think like United knowing basically what is gonna happen. I mean, United doing the research when it comes to CEOs, they're not gonna hire a future, like somebody that might be like, like who might be like criminally punished by the league, because there could be like, I don't know, if they really want to, they can go after every City manager, director, whatever, and that guy will be also involved. So I don't. That's what I feel like the reason why I don't really think like the charges will be something like big.
All right. I feel like they'll take. So my question is, I'm gonna ask Lee this, and I'm gonna ask Martin this. Like, if Man City get charged, right? What season will those points apply to? This season or next season? Like, based on like when the trials is set.
The FA pretty much decide that. It might be this one, it might be next. It's normally cleaner for them to do it start of next. Because then everyone knows where they stand, kind of thing, and it doesn't interfere with the season ongoing. But who knows? Because they kind of hit Everton like really early in the season with their one. But I know Everton and Forest have got another hearing coming up for separate charges, and I don't know if that will be, if the points, if there is a points deduction from that, if they'll get those for next season or this season. So it's not. There's no sort of confirmed time they would get it if they were going to get it. But I would expect it would most likely be next season, but who knows?
Right. And I also just want to compliment Phil Foden, just the way he took like Cedar on his back today and being an academy graduate, and just like it was what I like about the Foden goal with like they were both statement goals. Like Marcus Rashford's goal was like, y'all get out of my DMs with your hate, like that type of energy. And Phil Foden was like, man, we're passing from left to right. We're missing the goal. I'm frustrated. There's bigger players with bigger names on this pitch. and none of them are doing anything, nothing against them, but I'm tired of this shit. Let me go take things in my own hands and go around Lindelof, who is playing out of position. So I don't even blame him so much for the Foden goal. I give Foden the credit for like stop, because Foden couldn't pass him down the right like the whole game. Not in the first half. Not like there's a few times when Foden got the ball and Lindelof got so close to him and just collapsed on him, and it wasn't like a card foul. It was like the perfect foul. You stop the guy, you stop the play, and you don't get a card, and your defense gets to reset. So Lindelof basically played him right, and then Foden, frustrated, trying to go outside, like let me take it in, let me take it in, and then he scored that goal. So and then he went on the other side of the pitch and scored the other goal. So it's just like just the energy of like, I'm gonna win this for my team. This is what I'm gonna do. How do you guys like how do you feel about your team? It's just loaded, bro.
I think when it comes to Foden, I mean I've watched the guy so much, and I'm surprised like England is like not really capitalizing all his potential, but England also has like that's a different subject, right? But when it comes to Foden, I love him, and I wish it really sucks having De Bruyne in form sometimes, because I think like the reason you put Foden on the left or on the right is because you want De Bruyne to be in the center, like be the main guy. But I think Foden, it's probably gonna. I think like there's one more season that is gonna come a point that you're gonna have to be like, okay, let's build it around Foden. Put Foden as De Bruyne replacement. Like just move Foden to the center, like where he's like just do whatever you want, Foden. Just you're the guy that we're gonna build the team around. Because currently, like we're putting him on the left, on the right, and he's doing results. But I think it was Martin that mentioned that basically Foden has been carrying City for like this season, which is 100% true. De Bruyne was injured for a while. Haaland has not been informed. Foden has been producing like nonstop, and all the reflectors, I feel like they go. I don't feel like Foden gets the praise that he deserves sometimes.
He definitely will get it today. Like you could. There's no way hiding like the effort that he put in and what he did today. Martin, do you have any other points? Or
I do.
Any more disrespectful things to say about United?
No, I'm gonna get to United, but I want to talk about a City for a second. I'm gonna get to United too. So I saw this quote from Joe Mazzulla. He's the coach of the Boston Celtics, who are the best team in the league this season, which I don't like, especially because that's not my team at all. But he mentioned that Pep Guardiola is the biggest inspiration for him, and he called him the best coach in all the sports. And I think I'm seeing a certain pattern looking at how this team is functioning. I see a guy like Doku being this workhorse who is like getting everybody tired. So, and then you have people who finish, which are Foden and Haaland in this concept. Alvarez and Doku are the guys who are creating a lot of havoc, creating work. And I see why he's playing ahead of Grealish, because Grealish is also kind of a fancy player, and Grealish and Foden at the same time. You have two players who like the spotlight, like to finish, like to take responsibility for like in these decisive moments. But you need both. You need the workhorse like Rodri, Alvarez, and Doku, and then you need Haaland and Foden. In the past, it was Gundogan, and you had other players who were doing the Silva, that work. And then you have De Bruyne as an orchestrator. So everybody has a role on this team. It's not like you have 11 flashy players. You have 2, 3 who are, that type. Then you have 2 working for those 3. And then you have one kind of being the director, the conductor of the whole thing. I see how this is all blending together, and it all makes sense. And everybody has a role. And it's almost Doku is almost like a distraction for the team, because he's really doing a lot of work, and he's not necessarily scoring a lot or getting assists, but he's doing a lot of work, which allows people like Foden finish in the second half, because the defenders are so tired of dealing with Alvarez and Doku.
I feel like Doku slowed down a little bit. Like the league has kind of figured him out. Like the lot definitely got him yanked in the second half of the game. Like the lot's getting really good. Like, and his pace is pretty exceptional. As far as Marcus Rashford, like I brought it up earlier, he scored that first goal. He definitely shouldn't have went down when it was just him and Walker in the second half. Like you just don't go down. Like it's just hoping to get a foul. Like you take the ball, you dribble in front of the defender because you're ahead of him, so that now he's behind you. So now he has to take you down, but he has to wait till you shoot. Because if he takes you down, he's the last man. So that's a red. You know what I'm saying? And so you get the one-on-one, but you don't go down. Like, yeah, you yanked your arm. Just come in front of, just cut in front of him with the ball. And I know Walker is fast and that they both are in the England squad. So he knows if he's faster than Walker or not. It ain't just through his experience in Man City games, through derbies. He knows. So and he played like he knows that Walker's faster than him. Like when he got that second chance in the first half and he headed the ball down and just trying to figure out where Walker was, and then takes his eye off the ball and Walker gets the ball and knees it to the goalkeeper. So I was like, oh, he knows. I was like Rashford knows, but you just have to like complete the walk of the talk that you talked, and just kind of disappointing, like especially after starting so exciting. I want to give Andre Onana some props because he gets shit on a lot, and that wasn't just some ball that he kicked long that Bruno Fernandes controlled. And I want to give Bruno Fernandes props for he created some like 4 big chances, if 3, which is big in a game against City at the Etihad. At least 3, and maybe there is more. And so I think he deserves props for that, plus all his defensive work. I want to give props to Kobe Mainoo for getting that ball to Garnacho, like at that point in the game, but too bad Anderson came out and got it. And trying to see who else. Johnny Evans, man, like pretty good game, but overall we got dominated, man.
I think Johnny Evans had a great game. Like I was watching how I'm like, wow, like this guy's like doing amazing. So when he came out, and I have never heard of that guy that came out for him. I like he was like a young. I don't even know if he played before.
Because he's a kid.
No, that's what but that's why I was like, I don't know who this guy is. I'm surprised. And then I saw like their bench. I was like, wow, like, that's crazy. Like, and so yeah, I think like if Johnny Evans could finish the game, who knows what happens? Maybe like the game tie. It's in something that tie.
Yeah, Johnny Evans was just like on point. This game was lost before the whistle was blown to start it. Like just going back to paper, why were we at on paper? And it's not even like bad buys, because Anthony's definitely a bad buy. He's not delivering. We spent so much money for him. I think he might be the most expensive player in United history. And he's not.
No, Pogba was
like 80.
No, he was 100.
No. He's 100. They're both 100 if you do it in dollars.
I think with Pogba, you had to pay like a huge additional fee to Mino Raiola. That pushed it over the top.
Nobody counts those.
Yeah, but it was like 25 mil.
Yeah, but nobody counts those. Like
yeah,
the official.
It says 95 million pounds for Pogba, 86 for Anthony.
86
for
Anthony.
Pogba, Pogba.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, so it's Pogba, but that Anthony's high, man, and it's just the return is just not there. I didn't mind them putting him on because I was like, all right, he'll do a defensive job, but he just that's on Ten Hag. But
the rumor is, Ian, that you got like an agreement with Ross Barkley for the next season, that he will play for United.
Yeah, you're trying to piss me off.
No, I mean, that's every newspaper will put it out.
And I'm not trying to piss you off either, but the guy that came out last time, Rabat, I don't know what happened to the guy. He's not the same player. Like he put in the red shirt, and like just when he came in, I was just like, yes, I'm glad he's coming in. Like he's not a threat,
Now I feel bad for Amrabat. Like he hasn't played enough, so he's definitely rusty. And to get a floated ball to him like right there, and then he crossed lines with Casemiro. Like Casemiro ran over it. So it's like, are you gonna take this ball from me? Do I pass it to you? Like I'm facing the goal. I need a second to figure out. And then Rodri, the best CDM in the league, is right next to you at home. Takes it, pokes it to Haaland, and it's a wrap. So I just feel Amrabat would be good if we gave more time. When Casemiro first came to United, the first few games, it looked bad. You know what I mean? And when he came back from injury, it looked bad. Like if I'm looking at, like, they rated Casemiro today like a 7 point something, which is the highest they gave any player on this app. The highest any Man United player. Casemiro got a higher rating than Anderson, Nathan Ake, Ruben Diaz, not higher than Rodri, not higher than Foden, not higher than Bernardo Silva, but Casemiro was got a higher rating on this app. Casemiro got 7.31. Like,
is that on who scored?
Defensively.
Oh no, is that the who scored app though? The people that run the stats.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me make sure. It's the app that you just sent me. Where's the name of it? Can't see the name of it.
Yeah, a lot of people use their numbers though. They're fairly accurate.
Yeah. So yeah. Yep, that's what he got. So Bruno Fernandes got a 7. Offensively, Bruno Fernandes got a 7.2. They gave Marcus Rashford a 7.02, like offensively, because they give you defensive ratings and offensive ratings. But yeah. Anybody else got anything else they want to say about the game? Anything, Lee?
That's pretty much covered it.
Son of a bitch, we lost.
Let's not torture you anymore.
I just want to mention something about the city that I read. I mean, it's technically not about the city, but I'm sure.
Is it about the charges?
No, I'm hearing Aguero is coming back. That he got cleared by his doctor that he wants to resume his career, and he is obviously a city legend. So just wanted to bring it up that he wants to come back and play for someone next season.
It ain't gonna be City, bro.
Yeah,
you never know, man. You never know.
I know.
La Liga maybe.
You know?
Oh, sorry. La Liga
MLS.
or MLS maybe. Yeah. Or Saudi.
Alex, do you want him back?
Depending on what role is he? Like, are you coming like to hang out, to be in the locker room? We'll take you. You want game time? Probably Spurs or Southampton might want you.
Hilarious. He's a good luck charm, like as a hangout buddy. He hung out with the Argentinian team the entire World Cup, and they won the World Cup. So he's a good team locker room buddy.
And he did the same thing with the Champions League for City. He just came and hung out, then we won the Champions League. So
there you go. Yeah. so there you go. Martin, you are a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
And man, what a game against Crystal Palace. Let me go to this thing, man. I was watching this game and you guys were down 1-0, and I was like, get in, City. I mean, Palace, hold on to this. But eventually your front foot Postecoglou football broke them down. Y'all look beautiful out there. And Timo Werner with the equalizer. Like he can't hit anything, but even somebody who can't hit anything is going to hit something at least at some point in time. And he scored the 77-minute equalizer. What do you feel about the game, bro? And where you at in the table?
I'm very happy with, we're doing it over and over again. We didn't do it against Wolves. We were a little bit unlucky in that game. And we're still work in progress, and our best players who are coming back from serious injuries, they're still not 100%. I would say Madison and Van der Vera are still not at the form they were before they got injured, although they're getting better. So everything looks a little bit better, and there's a fight in this team, and there's a resilience in this team. And I want to mention one more thing. Of course, Timo Werner missed some chances, Son missed some chances, but I'll tell you what, Son finally is a #1 player on the team. He's been here for, I think, like almost 10 years, if not 10 years. and he was either number 2 behind Kane or number 3 behind Kane and Dele Alli in the order of the stars on the team. And where is Dele Alli right now, right? So he's been here for a while, and finally that's his team. He's the most important player, and getting him back is a big boost. And I think he played a extraordinary part in this game, and also scored the final goal. The Timo Werner's goal was a simple finish. It was more the Johnson stripping the Anderson, the Crystal Palace defender, which one more time it tells you that there is a fight on the team, that this team is fighting, because that was a lost possession and he pretty much took the ball from the defender, run and created the chance where all Werner had to do was just to finish what Haaland didn't do today. Werner did, luckily enough. And then Romero, who is not a very good defender, unfortunately, but he scored 3 goals this season already for the Spurs in the league. So, listen, everybody contributes, and it's a shame that Villa scored in the stoppage time against Luton. But if we finish top 6, I'll be happy. If we finish top 4, it'll be amazing.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Team. And Richarlison is injured, but other than that, we have our best team right now. So let's go.
And we should talk about that Villa game too, because I watched it. So and it's significant to the top 4, and we're going to talk about top 4 shit. Period. As far as that game is concerned, you said Romero is not a good defender, but let me just say this: you don't need a good defender once you got Van de Ven. That dude,
he's still not 100%. He's still not 100%.
Well, tell Mateta that, because Mateta feels like he was 200%. Like, Mateta's huge. He's fast. Is it Mateta, the guy for Crystal Palace? The big and I've just never seen somebody just like the one-on-ones. They just clash. Like, you ever see those car chases where the 2 cars just run into each other and then diverge and then come back? Like, just one crash, Mateta goes flying, Van de Ven wins the ball, and it's just Van de Ven back there. And then Romero is like, he's just better as like an extra forward on like corners and shit, because Van de Ven just takes care of everything. His pace, his strength, pretty fucking amazing. And then in Udagi too, and you got good wing backs. What's the Pedro Porro, even though it was what's his name playing what's his name? I feel like the mistakes are gone. What's his name? The Royale, Emerson Royale played. I feel like his mistakes are gone. He's not like, because there's people in front of him that are better than him, and he's trying to get back into the team. His mind is not like, oh shit. He's like, no, I got to get back into this team. This team is balling. Or maybe he plays better front foot football from a wingback position. Maybe it's the change in style that's made him a better player. But you guys, man, like, you have impressive players who are doing their thing all over the pitch. Like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can say. And it's exciting football. Football's so exciting, you don't even hurt the jersey. You don't even hate the jersey that they're wearing. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and there's still the rumor circling that pretty much the Gallagher deal from Chelsea that we didn't complete, it's pretty much a done deal for the summer, because they have to offload 100 million pounds, and so it will be a $50 million buy, a 50 million pound buy. I think that would be a good addition to what we already have. If we can add this one player like with that characteristic, I think we can be pretty dangerous next year.
Yeah, I agree. Lee, what do you think about Spurs' lucky win?
I mean, I kind of felt, even when Palace scored that goal, I sort of had the feeling that Spurs would turn it around. They've been creating enough chances. Like, Werner was really wasteful before the goal. And, the goal, Eze did great for the goal. He's like, it was an unreal finish. I mean, Palace will benefit from having him back in the team. But yeah, I think Spurs always had the firepower to go and take this game, to be honest. There was enough about them to do it. And the fact that they had to wait late, I think that happens sometimes. But, they had the quality to do it. 3-1, maybe a little bit harsh on Palace, but yeah, I mean, Spurs were creating chances most of that game, so I kind of felt, it did get my hopes up at 1-0. I did think what you were thinking. Whereas, can they just park the bus now? But part of me was also thinking, Spurs have got enough enough in the tank to go and turn this around, and they did, especially at home as well. It is what it is. But yeah, Werner, he couldn't really miss the one that he did score. It was put on a plate for him.
Those.
I mean, yeah, he could have tried. Haaland might have missed it, but yeah, he couldn't really not tuck that one away.
Yeah, I was just as disappointed when Spurs equalized as when Foden equalized against us, because we need Spurs to lose too. We need Spurs and we need Villa to lose, and they won.
They play each other next week.
So what?
They play each other next week. Villa plays.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna let's talk about that. So Villa beat last minute, great fight by Nottingham.
Luton.
By Luton. And Lloyd went to the game. He sent me some pictures. We have a friend in England. He's a Birmingham fan. He's season ticket holder. So he went to the game, sent me some pictures. I don't know if I can show them on here. He said that ground. I said, what do you think about the ground? He said that ground shouldn't be allowed in the Premier League. He didn't say it like that. But because I was saying, what about the novelty of it? And I guess when you're there, it's just rickety. It's like it's not. It's definitely not a Premier League ground. Like they might not be allowed to play in it next year. They definitely didn't expect to be in the Premier League. And he showed me some pictures. Let me see if I can find them on WhatsApp. So that I feel like that's pretty normal, if you could see that. And then this is somebody's backyard kind of thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can see him on the way in. It's crazy.
And then look at this cheap ass stand.
Yeah, through the houses.
That's when Domino's Pizza, before they stepped up their game and decided, all right, let's make some real pizza. And he's at the back of the stadium, but he's actually in the front of the stadium because there's no roads.
Yeah, it's not very deep there.
It's not that deep there, but yeah, like when Luton went down 2-0, I was like, how are they going to get back in this game? They're being domed, you know what I'm saying? And this is a serious team. Like, I feel like the last few weeks, Villa has turned up the pressure, and they're in their Villa at their Arsenal era, because Arsenal is just running through teams like they're locust. You ever see like locusts descend on a field of wheat? Like that's how Arsenal plays. That's what Sheffield is going to happen tomorrow with Sheffield United. Like Sheffield is a field of wheat, and Arsenal is a plague of locusts. That's just gonna fuck their whole shit up. But Aston Villa goes up 2-0, and I'm like, how is Luton gonna get back in this game? This is not the Luton that I'm used to seeing. They normally like represent and play better, and they somehow, and it was just all crosses. Like it was all crosses and set plays. On the corner, they were relentless on that corner. They juggled it back into the front of the net. Somebody hit it, keeper or somebody knocked it back out, and then landed on Chong's foot, and then Chong put it in. And then the other play was another set play. It's like this, you could, like set pieces, you can get back into a game. Doesn't matter who you're playing or who you are. And they made it 2-2. And I was like, come on, just hold on. This is another result that I need for Man United to like get closer to you, to have a chance to get in the top four, to finish for Europe. And then the last minute, one of the subs, Diaby, puts a lovely cross in. And I think Digne was a sub too, ex-Everton player, heads it in. And Luton ain't got nothing else. That just broke their backs, their hearts, their spleen, their legs. It wasn't going to happen. And they go up. So we got the top four. And Alex, what do you think your chances? Who are you got to worry about the most in the top four? Is it Arsenal, who's already beat you? Did they beat you at the Etihad?
No, we lost against them. Arsenal at the what is the new stadium? Emirates.
At the Emirates, yeah.
Yeah.
Who you worried about more? Your Man City. Who you worried about more?
I mean, we play Liverpool next week. If we somehow win at Anfield, I think we're just gonna win. We're just gonna get rolling and probably win a bunch of games. Arsenal, I think like I'm more afraid of Liverpool. Liverpool's been there. Liverpool knows basically what's like being chased by City and having to play games during the week. And Arsenal is about to start playing Champions League like real, I mean, more like difficult opponents. Right now they lost against Porto. They have to take the next game serious. And then if they somehow they're gonna draw against, I don't know, like if they could draw like against Madrid, Bayern Munich, or someone, they'll be like, oof, this is rough. What do? We have a game against Bayern Munich, then we have a game against Spurs, and then we have to come back and play City or someone. It's I think like Arsenal hasn't been there, so I'm afraid of Liverpool.
It's a final season of club, so that also plays a factor, in my opinion. It's his final season, so they want to win it for him.
Do you know that Man City has more points than they did at this point last season? It's just that Liverpool has more points than them. So
Arsenal had more points last season than at this point than last time, right? I remember like City was chasing Arsenal like 7 points or 6 points, and then just Arsenal started dropping points.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know for sure that Pep said after this game that they have more points at this point of the season than last season. The only difference is Liverpool, who were like in 10th last season or 7th or wherever they were, they're ahead of them now. So, but you guys are good at chasing down teams. Like you chased down Liverpool like multiple seasons and caught them and passed them. But you really, when I asked you the question at first, you said, if we somehow beat Liverpool, you think you could beat them?
I think we can beat them. I think City can beat any team, and City should be able to beat any team. But I've seen City play at Anfield before, and it's scary. Like it's I don't know what it's about the field or about Liverpool or about Klopp, Guardiola, but just I've seen Guardiola overthinking it, and all of a sudden it's like, why are you playing a line of 5? Why are you playing why are you playing Foden as a left back? What's happening, Pep? And so I can see like a tough game, and if somehow you lose the game, all of a sudden you're 4 points behind, and then you have to play Arsenal the week after. So I think like that's a huge game. I think that's the most important probably game. If you want to win this league, beat Liverpool.
You gotta beat Liverpool. What do you guys think about this game coming up next week? Liverpool versus Man City.
Like Alex was saying, there is kind of a something in City's heads when they go to play there, and he was right. Like Pep always seems to want to come up with like some sort of there's big games that get in Pep's head sometimes. Like the Champions League final against Chelsea was one where he decided to play a different type of setup.
He didn't play Rodri. He's like, I'm gonna play with the CDM. Rodri, Fernandinho, you guys can sit on the bench. We're too good. I want to play no CDMs.
Yeah, he does that sometimes. He like in these big games, he thinks he needs to do something to outsmart the opponent. No, it's like, no, you've got an amazing team, and when they play the roles they know how to play, if they play them to the best of their ability, they should win almost any game because they're world-class players. So don't confuse them by messing up their routine and messing up their reference points on the field in a game that big. So yeah, I'm hoping City just go and play their normal stuff against Liverpool in that game. Play the normal system and see what happens. And I'm looking forward to seeing Haaland and Van Dijk battle in that game. And it'll be the real test for these new Liverpool kids. Some of these kids that are in the team, like they've done well in some big games. They did well in a cup final, but this is the real pressure now. It's like, can you stand up to everything being on the line in a title race?
I mean, you said the key word there, kids. Like Liverpool has a lot of injuries, and this is like the perfect time for Man City to play them because I think they got a lot of their players back. Martin, what do you think of this game?
I think Liverpool will win it. They're a little bit better right now, and they have a nice vibe with this group of young players that joined the team. And I think this is the Liverpool season. However, if City somehow manages to beat them, I think that will turn the tide. So this is absolutely crucial game. But I think if Liverpool wins the game, they win the title. And that's my prediction. I think they're gonna win the game and the title.
Game and the title. Let me see. And what do you think about your chances of beating Spurs? I mean, beating Aston Villa. Spurs' chance of beating Aston Villa this weekend coming up.
It's tough to tell because we're still leaking goals. If we can get a clean sheet finally somehow, then we have a chance because we are always dangerous up front. I will tell you one thing about Villa. There's one thing that is really impressing me about Villa. They have probably the best forward of the season. I think Haaland was clearly the best last year. I think Watkins is the best this year. I think he's the best finisher in the game this season.
Haaland's leading the league in goals, bro.
Yeah, but the Watkins
he didn't play for like 2 months as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Watkins does a lot of on his own. I mean, Haaland, he has the whole team working for him. Watkins is carrying Villa on his back.
He has Leon Bailey setting stuff up for him all the time.
Those two.
Yeah, but for me, he's always
Douglas
whenever
Luiz.
they need a goal, Watkins scores a goal.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins plays like him and Leon Bailey sleep in bed together and just talk football, and because the way they've been linking up, it's like it's some telepathic level type shit. Or they really get
now. Here's a question.
Really
Lee.
well.
Would you start Watkins or Harry Kane at Euros?
Kane has to play from the start for England.
Yeah, Ollie's doing good, and he scored some amazing goals. And what I like about Ollie is he's up front, but then he'll go to the right to get balls from Bailey and link up with him and combo. And then sometimes he'll pop up on the left. And even in this game, like, he was so solid, like with a defender hanging all over his back and a goalkeeper or one of his teammates like hitting the ball hard towards him, he'll dead it. Like, he's a great reference point up front. Like, he's not giving the ball back, and he'll knock it down, control it with somebody on him. And like he was wearing that Luton defender as an extra jersey on him. Like, the dude, Mengi, was just all over him, and he never lost control of any of those balls, would tap it back to one of his teammates, and they would keep that ball because Luton was pressing when they came out. So, like, Ollie is definitely improving. And like, that's the thing about Emery. He's like, a good coach is good when he raises the level of the player. But can they beat Spurs? You're two front foot teams. Where's this game being played?
I think it's at Villa.
Yeah, it's at Villa Park. Yeah,
it's at Villa Park. It's going to be a tough one. I can't call it, but I can't wait to see it. What you saying, Alex?
I have a question for Martin because basically in the last 4 weeks or maybe 4 weeks before the end of the league, the Spurs plays Man City, they play Arsenal, and they play Liverpool back to back to back. Yeah. Do you see basically Spurs being able to decide the title, perhaps beating City or beating Liverpool, beating Arsenal, and that being like the factor?
Well, here's the thing, like historically in the last decade, City is the team we always beat.
Yeah.
Liverpool we usually lose to, although we beat them in the first round somehow. It was kind of a lucky win, not gonna lie. And Arsenal, it depends. It's a coin toss. The two teams that were unlucky, like Chelsea, always something bad happens against Chelsea. Almost, some fluke, some injury, some red card, something happens. So that's our bogey team. That's Chelsea. City is somehow a team that is better than us, but we somehow beat them every year. And Arsenal it's a coin toss, and Liverpool usually it's hard for us. Liverpool it's hard. So yeah, I think the title could be decided in the next game. Really, if Liverpool wins, I think that's it. If City wins, you are in the front in a pole position. But if Liverpool wins, I think that's a wrap.
I don't think the game will be. I think there's pitfalls from other teams. So even if Liverpool wins next week, do they still have to play Arsenal at some point?
And yeah, but they don't play Champions League.
Who?
Liverpool.
Yeah, but they're in Europa League, right?
Yeah, they're in Europa League.
That
just makes it hard because you have to play Thursday. That's the only thing that I don't like about Europa
They'll play
League.
D team. Yeah. If that's the case, they'll just let it go. I don't think they care.
Liverpool and Arsenal don't play again this season. They've already done it twice.
Oh yeah.
No, I think they don't. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So who else has Arsenal got to play that's tough?
Well, they have Chelsea, they have City, and I think they have Spurs. They have they have hey, Chelsea. We struggle with Chelsea somehow. I don't know. Chelsea took 4 points away from City. Yeah. And I think like our Man United plays Arsenal on 2 weeks before.
Yeah, we're only talking about the tough games.
Well, I hope United, like, come on, United, like, just win it, you know.
Listen, you're already gonna lose if you're gonna count on us. All right.
Like, they've got some like potential tough games depending on what the other team does. Like they've got away to Brighton and away to Wolves, and they're not easy games right now against those. Well, Newcastle made it look easy.
Wolves are better away than at home because they counter-attack you. At home, I think they're not that good.
Yeah, I mean they're away to Newcastle this weekend though, and they still messed up. But Arsenal still got to play Villa as well. That's on the 13th of April. And yeah, they still got to go away to Spurs. They still got to play away to United as well. So it's an interesting run in for them. Mixture of games.
Hey Martin, turn on your light.
Yeah.
While you turn on the light, let's Lee talk about Southampton in the championship and like your one, huh?
Just we had a crazy game on Saturday. We played Birmingham City away. We went 1-0 down after 2 minutes, and I was thinking, oh no, here we go. The bad run that we're on is going to continue. And then we equalised, and then right before halftime, Birmingham City went 2-1 up. And we had dominated as well. We just gave them 2 cheap goals, and then they got it back to 2-2, and then we went 3-2 up, and then they had a man sent off. And at 3-2,
oh shit,
with them going down to 10 men, I was thinking, here we go. This will be comfortable now. And then with 10 men, they equalised for 3-3. And then for us, Joe Aribo scored the winner for 4-3 in like stoppage time.
4-3.
The whole place went nuts. Yeah, we won 4-3.
Jesus
eventually, in stoppage time. So we're back on the winning track, which is good. We needed that result. We really, really needed it. Leeds didn't win. Leeds drew in a game that they probably should have won. And, I said I went and visited their stadium last week when I was in Leeds to put a hex on it, and it's working already. It's going to work
this week.
That's it. It's going to work. They drew, or they did. There wasn't a chance for it to kick in last week. I went after their game had been played. So this is the first time they played. The hex worked. They drew with Huddersfield, who are like a local rival. Leicester lost. Leicester have lost 3 games in a row. Right. So they're slipping. The only bad thing for us was Ipswich won. So it's still a bit tight in the mix with them as well. But we gained on Leeds. We gained on Leicester. That's good. We're playing this Wednesday at home to Preston, and I'm going to that game. So I'm looking forward to that, getting back into the stadium again. It's been about a month since the last time I went. So yeah, we need to keep the winning run going, and it's such a horrible, relentless league to try and get out of. And there's like 4 of us up there fighting for 2 spots. Yeah, it's going to be an eventful end to the season. But yeah, we got the win this weekend. We're back on track, so hopefully we can keep it going.
Oh, good shit.
How's Dosi doing? Sammy Dosi?
Yeah, he's looked good. He's had some injury problems this season that kept him out a couple of little spells. He's a sort of kid who, like, old school defenders want to kick him because he's got lots of step overs and lots of pace. But you can see he's had like a good football education. And we picked up a few good kids from City. Like we had Romeo Lavia, who did great for us before we robbed Chelsea for a big old fee, and then he's done nothing for them. And we've got obviously Jason Wilcox, who was the head of the academy there. We've got a guy called Shea Charles, who's been sort of in and out of the team for us this season as well. Who's another young guy who came from City, but he's looked good in spells for us as well. And we got Gavin Bazunu, the goalkeeper as well, who we signed from City after you'd loaned him out before. So he's developing. But Bazunu's one I'm really impressed with because he's a goalkeeper who we had him last season in our relegation season. It was a little bit too much for him, and then I think he learned from it though. And this season in the Championship, he's been learning even more. He's a really young keeper. I think he's only like 22.
Yeah.
years old, but he's already Republic of Ireland's #1 goalkeeper, and he is unreal with his feet. Like he can play.
I think he's a star. I think he's gonna like. He should be like a team is gonna sign him in the Premier League, or unless you guys go up,
Did you buy him, or is he on loan?
No, we
bought him.
They own him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure City have a buy, but they always have a clause. They always have either a percentage if we sell him somewhere else, or a clause for them to buy him back. But he's ridiculous. Like he had some mistakes in his game, but he's a young goalkeeper. Young goalkeepers will make mistakes, but he is one of the best keepers I've ever seen with the ball at his feet. Like his range of passing is great. He's always calm under pressure, and his all-round game is getting better as well. So yeah, I think maybe Premier League might still be a little bit too far for him. Maybe 2-3 years more experience, but his ceiling is huge. I think he's got so much potential.
So hold up, Man City's academy is your feeder club?
Pretty much.
And then you're going to bring those players back to the Premier League and then sell them to Liverpool?
Probably. Or Chelsea if they keep offering us silly money.
Before we go to the fantasy league and get it, does Bayern have a chance to like beat Lazio? Is Harry Kane gonna be out of Champions League? They're down 1-0. They lost to Lazio in Lazio 1-0. I don't even think they won this weekend in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, it's 10 points. It's 10 points difference. Liverpool didn't lose a single game.
And the coach is already quit/fired agreement, and the players are not responding to that. Can they overturn this 1-0 deficit at home in the Champions League to Lazio?
Interesting, because the rumor is, that who's going to be the next Bayern coach, that it's going to be Antonio Conte next season. So that's the rumor out there, and Tuchel will be free to, for example, come back to Chelsea. I don't know. That could be interesting to see. 10 points difference. Xabi Alonso might be the most coveted manager on the market if he decides to accept another challenge. It's pretty unbelievable what he did. He took this team when they were second to the bottom, and now they're clearly the best team in the league without like major superstars. They have a solid team. They have some really good players on the team, but not like A-list stars, using the Hollywood terms. So it's incredible. 10 points ahead of Munich. I think it's pretty much over.
What do you think, Alex?
I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win against Lazio. Just 90 minutes in their stadium. I think with full, like with Kane, you throw Kane in there, Mueller, all those. You'll probably into Mueller if you need to put him in the corner, and somehow they'll tie the game and win it in overtime. But I just don't see him. If somehow like Bayern Munich gets Arsenal, City, or even like Madrid on the next round, I don't even know if they want that. I think they'll be okay if you tell them you want to just go now, or you want to play against Arsenal or City next round. They'll probably be like, you know what, let's just end it.
Who?
Like Bayern Munich, if you're given the option of like you want to just lose against Lazio, or you want to play City next round, I think they'll probably be like, let's just be done now.
Damn.
I don't know. They pretty much lost the title in the league, so they don't have no choice. They have to try to win the Champions League at this point.
But it's just, I don't know what's wrong. And like Conte as like the choice of the replacement, like that's not a good choice. The style of play that Conte plays compared to what Bayern wants to play, that's not a fit.
Yeah, definitely. It's a strange situation. I mean, he's not appointed yet, so that's just a rumor. But it's a strong rumor. It's a strong rumor. So.
And they were also. What about the rumor that Real Madrid already has a deal with Alphonso Davies? Is that a true thing?
Yeah, and I think there was a name mentioned as a replacement.
Roberts from Liverpool.
Yeah. Robertson is from Liverpool, exactly. Yeah. And Eric Dyer signed a new deal there. He signed a new contract for like the next 2 years.
That's how I know Bayern's going down.
Happy for him.
You know what? Now I know who's gonna win on Tuesday between Lazio and Bayern. Lazio, like the Bayern I know, would never permanently give an Eric Dyer, and Dyer's been starting too.
Yeah,
but it's not like Upamecano's been doing anything. He got a red card in the last game, so yeah, I wonder Dyer's. But I don't know, man. This is if you keep finding all the.
Dyer's had his contract sorted for next season there apparently as well now.
Yeah, that's what Martin was just saying.
Yeah. It's
nuts. Which is nuts. He couldn't start for Spurs, get in the team for Spurs, and he's starting for Bayern. That is bizarre.
Yeah, actually, I want to mention one more player since we have a guest who is a City fan, because I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this guy, because he's on the second team. He was like named one of the greatest talents in football, and it's the second team where he's kind of underperforming, which is Leroy Sané.
What he did, Leroy Sané to me is one of those players that I will take him immediately. If he's like, I want to come back, please come. And
but it wasn't quite working 100%.
I know. I haven't really seen him play lately, but to me, like, just I tell people when it comes to I haven't watched that much Premier League, but personally, what I've seen, best wingers in my lifetime, Ronaldo, Bale, and probably Leroy Sané makes it in my top 5. I think like those guys were just down the wing. You could not basically they're unstoppable. Like I remember like Bale, people would just give him like 10 meters to basically just like they would mark. It was kind of like they would be like around like a bubble around him because they didn't want to get near him. And the same with basically like Ronaldo and with Sané, it was a moment where he was just destroying the league. I don't know what happened with Pep between him and Pep, but
well, with Tuchel, they didn't get along, so there's some problem with him.
Says that Sané has a knee injury.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing up to his potential. He was fighting with the coach again. There's something
that coach is gone. Now Sané started out having a good season. Him and Kane been linking up.
There was something definitely happening with Sané last season because I remember he was playing on the right because the coach wanted him on the right for him to cut and take a shot or whatever, and he's just like, let's just play me on my left wing. That's what I play,
I love the Leroy Sané. It's just the way he glides at full speed down the field. It looks like extraterrestrially, and very ballet.
So you would take him to United?
Hell yeah.
All right.
But would he come to United? Probably no. But yeah.
His wife, by the way, like just random, but his wife, like Leroy Sané's wife, she's still like a huge Man City fan. Like when Bayern Munich lost last year against City, she posted like pictures about City winning, which she was just like, your husband just lost against. I know there was something going on between him and like the coach, but she was just sharing posts from like De Bruyne and Foden and stuff, and I was like, what are you doing? You want to get this guy fired? What is happening?
Do you follow Sané's wife on social media?
Yes, I do. Yeah, just a fan. I also follow Zinchenko's wife. I don't know if you guys know Zinchenko's wife.
Gorgeous, hilarious.
Yes,
it's funny. Like Neil is one of those persons. He's not here, but like the fans that will go to get the most inside information. Like people will be like, yeah, I follow Rashford's barber's girlfriend, just in case she says some shit that the barber told her that Rashford told the barber. Like there's people out there that will just have everything covered just to get any type of information about their team. So yeah, all right, I feel you. So what's up? What's popping with the fantasy league?
Let me just get it up. Martin had a pretty good week because he had Foden and Watkins. Martin's week could have been even better though because he had Areola on his bench for West Ham. Saved a penalty. So he had 13 points, whereas Martin's Spurs loyalty made him put Vicario in goal, and Vicario only got 2 points. So Martin's got 61 this week, and he's got Saka, Saliba, and Kivior to play for Arsenal tomorrow against Sheffield United. So yeah, Martin did okay there. I only got slightly less points. I got 47. I got my goalkeeper pick right. I had Neto for Bournemouth, who got 8 points. Bowen got me an assist. I had Haaland and Watkins. I've got Saliba and Odegaard. So I need Odegaard to do the business. I need him to do everything for Arsenal tomorrow if I'm going to gain on Martin. But some people let me down. Stones couldn't keep a clean sheet against Man United, so I'm blaming Stones. Also, because Burnley were playing Bournemouth, I put a Bournemouth defender in as well, Senesi, and he'd been playing great for Bournemouth recently, but he got injured after 12 minutes. So Bournemouth kept a clean sheet, but he got nothing he got 1 point because he went injured after 12 minutes, which, I'm not happy about that. That was frustrating. But yeah, Martin is up to 11th. I am unmoved in 17th. And the top teams are still the same. They haven't moved either. Joachim Henriksen, who got 77 points so far this weekend.
Jeez.
He's killing it.
Neil? Where's Neil?
So hold on, let me do the top. Joachim Henriksen is top. Ahmad Zekri is second. They both got in the 70s this week already. So they're the top two. Neil is... Hold on, I've got to scroll. Neil was down to 32nd. He was 31st. He's down to 32nd now.
But
I don't even know. I don't even know if he's still doing anything with this team. He's got some players in there.
He ain't doing much.
Yeah, I think Neil's given up on his team just like he gave up on Chelsea this season already.
On Pochettino, he's especially on Pochettino.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame Pochettino. And I feel like they should give Pochettino another year, to be honest. It's like, I feel like any coach would be going through this with this Chelsea team and all these fragments of young players. When you was given the fantasy league thing, there's one more game I wanted to just talk about a little bit, but it's out of my mind now. So let's just wrap it up there. Anybody got anything they want to plug, any shows or anything?
I just want to mention that, the MLS started. I went to the LAFC first home game. Hugo Lloris played. They lost now 3-0 actually. It's Real Salt Lake. But it was fun to run into Hugo Lloris. Very nice guy, very friendly guy. Everybody loves him on the team. And what else? Inter Miami. Suarez scored 2 goals. Messi scored 2 goals. It's almost like old times.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So some of it looked a little bit like not one fully professional league. Some of those goals, it looked like a little bit more like a friendly game between older players. They're gonna have a World Cup for 35 plus players, and like Frank Lampard will be playing, Ronaldinho will be playing. They'll have that World Cup this summer. So that the game where Suarez and Messi scored, it looked that way a little bit.
Yeah.
So Aguero probably should come to the MLS. I agree. Should maybe play with Suarez in Inter Miami, probably. Yeah.
Is he even old enough for the over 35 World Cup? Aguero?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Aguero. Let me check. He's
They're
around.
the same age.
He's either almost there or there.
I think he's there.
He's there.
35, exactly. 35.
All right. All right. Alex, you got any shows you want to plug out there in the desert?
We have a comedy
Instagram.
We have a comedy festival on March 18th, 20th, and something. There's like 100 comics coming to perform, and it's fun. Yeah. My Instagram just alexps.comedy.
That comedy. And thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you coming through.
This was fun.
And bragging and puffing out your chest. And you weren't that obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? So,
cool.
I appreciate that. Lee, you got anything?
I'm going to be over in the States in April. Going to be in New York and in Austin. But I'll post about stuff on my social media when I get things booked in. But yeah, Lee Hudson Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, I'll be out there in April.
All right, dope. And I'm at Ian Edwards Comic on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Threads. And I'll be at the Mothership March 29th to the 31st. I might stay to do Kill Tony the next day. And I also will be at Hotel Cafe in May for Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival. And Martin, you did yours, right? You talked about the MLS.
Yeah. I mean, you can watch me on Young Sheldon. I have a couple of other and shows. Oh, the film I'm in, The Womb, went to the premiere last week, won the best feature of the Golden State Film Festival at Chinese Theater, so that was pretty nice. It's directed by Frank Capello, who wrote a movie called Constantine, starring Keanu Reeves back in the 90s, and did direct a couple of big movies. Now he's like coming back, and he did this movie, kind of a pandemic film, and I had a role in it, and it gets good reviews. And in April I will be in Atlanta working actually there on some stuff. So I might miss Lee unless he comes to Atlanta to do comedy. Then I won't.
All right, dope shit. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for coming through. Thank you all for listening and for watching. We love you. Everybody be good to each other. Let's make this world better, even for Man City fans. Peace and one. Let me stop this.